brother.
That's street scrapping part 2. This time we went from Ennerley. The hard rubbish was Ennerley and South Brisbane and down to Yeronga. We only got through Dutton Park and Ennerley, and we were full up. Actually pulled up at a guy's house and he's like, "Oh, do you want these TVs and all that?" He'd been going around collecting stuff for scrap last year and never got time to process it. And so he filled me up there, and I got a lot for things that I can pull apart and get the copper out of, and then whatever steel comes off of that as a byproduct, I can take that and punch it through. But things that was in there, a home stripper pole, like X-Stage platform for a stripper pole. I actually thought it was something to do with like leveling or fitness or something, and it was super duper heavy and it looked like stainless, so I picked that up last week, and turned out that it's like a stripper pole in a special travel case to transport it. I didn't get the pole, but I got like the stage part of it, so it all went around into like a hexagon shape and the pole would go into the middle. That was in my shred steel, so that was pretty heavy. Those two things I want all my room so that I can fill up with tube TVs, VCRs, DVDs, computers, and that type of thing that I can pull apart. And there might be copper in there, but there might also be silver or gold or all these other metals that I didn't even know existed. Palladium. And so I'm going to take my scrap to the yard. I'll give you a look at what I've got. So this is what I've processed: a car battery, a stove. So that should give us a price for a car battery, price for appliance, scrap. Then I've got stainless, some dirty and some clean, so it might give us the two prices for stainless. Shred steel, scrap steel, whatever, light steel, and a bit of cast iron. And I've got low grade copper wires, DC motors, mid-grade copper wires down the bottom there. So they've had all the plugs and everything chopped off of them. They're ready to go. That's all the DC motors. We've got 1, 2, 6 DC, 7 DC motors in there. They just out of fans, little pedestal fans. And here's your low-grade PVC. So that's the ribbon cables, even this crap. So we should figure out the price for car batteries, shred steel, appliance steel, cast iron, stainless steel, low grade copper wire, mid grade copper wire, DC motors as well. And that's all we're taking this time. So we'll see how we go. Alright, so back from the scrapyard. We did a lot better than last time. I'm going to say that the previous yard is probably trying to get out of taking the scrap. Probably just want to do the containers for change these days. But yeah, the 1 cent a kilo and all that I was getting paid even after the coronavirus and everything's at an all-time low. I'll tell you the prices that I got today. Getting paid the same prices that I was looking at on Google and all that sort of thing. So we'll start with the auto battery, the automotive battery. It's 5 kilos, 60 cents a kilo, $3. Already nearly got what I've got from the other yard just in that auto battery. Stainless had 3.6 kilos at $1 a kilo, so it's $3.60, so $6.60. Shred steel at 150 kilos, 7 cents a kilo, $10.50. appliance. I had that one stove, 30 kilos, 10 cents a kilo, $3. PVC all went for $1.85. So I don't know if that's like in between low and mid grade PVC price. But my Google search said that mid-grade PVC was worth about $1.85. So that's with the plugs taken off. The low grade, like ribbon cable, coaxial cable, all that sort of thing, the low grade, I didn't cut the plugs off of that. I only had like a 10-litre bucket of that, but all up I had 13 kilos of PVC. They took it all as one collection, $25. That's $1.85 a kilo. So I got $45.10 this time around. That was
It's really alright. Alright, everything's gonna be alright.
$25 for my PVC, $3 for my one auto battery, $3.60 for my stainless, $10.50 for my shred, $3 for my appliance, which give me $45.10. So last time around, I had several appliances, and I got $7.50 for the whole lot as shred at 1 cent a kilo. So this time I took a small amount to the yard to sample the price of this yard. And definitely the other yard ripped me off. I'm not happy about that. My mate works there, so I'm going to take it as, at least my mate got paid this week. But definitely not happy about the price that I was paid at the other yard, considering I took a small load. Yeah, definitely next weekend's going to be another scrapping adventure. And then this week I've got like a bunch of things to pull apart and that I have pulled apart. And so this is Maribel copper, whatever copper that I've stripped out of all the transformers. I spoke to the yard about the stripped copper, and so they take it all as candy. I think that's like the second, I think it's a grade below the Maribel copper. It's candy copper, where it's got the the lacquer or whatever on it, but I don't need to buy a crucible or do anything like that for it. Pretty much, yeah, I can just send it how it is in this bucket right now. So I just strip the rest of the things down and pull all the bits of wire out, and I'll fill the bucket up to the top and then take it down there, and they'll probably give you like $6 or $7 a kilo for it. So yeah, the guy schooled me on how to pull down the aircon unit. And this is a copper aluminium air conditioning unit. I'm yet to pull. Get all the copper out of that. There's copper inside the compressor unit on those window mount aircons. So I'll get the little copper alloy radiators, as well as I'll get the copper, they reckon about 5 pounds of copper out of inside the swing motor for the actual gas part of the air conditioner. And then he said to pull like the actual armature and everything apart, you can cut one part off and take that as a chunk, and then pull all the wires out of the actual armature and the windings of the electric fan motor that's inside there. So that's these come off the back of the tube TV. So this is a nice shiny copper in there. So just break all that up and ends up with this. Also the degaussing cable, so it's just got tape wrapped around it. Once we peel all that off, I know how to do that. Cool, these guys, they pretty much everything how I want to process it is how these guys want to accept it. I'm not really fussed about separating cast steel from light steel or whatever like that. It sort of does it itself anyway, because the heavier steel is going to be at the bottom of the pile, but I don't really care to go into what the little bits of metal are made out of. I'm more looking for things that I can pull apart and get the copper out of, and then whatever steel comes off of that as a byproduct, I can take that and punch it through. But a big heavy like tow bar or something off a truck doesn't take up much room in the trailer, but it's putting a good weight in there. My trailer can tow 1,200 kilos and hold about 6 cubic meters, so I'm not fussed about picking up some super heavy piece of steel that doesn't take up much room. I probably prefer to do that than fill up on broomsticks or whatever other guys pick up. Chairs and stuff seem to be annoying. I only want like ironing boards and things that fold down flat and have a good bit of weight to them, or they can be easily broken up to fold down flat. I want all my room so that I can fill up with tube TVs, VCRs, DVDs, computers, and that type of thing that I can pull apart. And yeah, a whole bunch of screens and printers and stuff for the next one. There might be copper in there, but there might also be silver or gold or all these other metals that I didn't even know existed. Palladium and all these printed circuit boards in here, and so we'll stockpile them till we've got enough to look for someone to sell them to. And also hard drives. I've only scrapped the one computer and one 4 terabyte external drive. I scrapped one of those as well. Nickel and copper is on like a price rise, so I'm going to try and keep all my raw like virgin copper and stockpile that for when if there is a price boom in the next 12 months, I'll have a good stockpile to offload it. Started off with this container and I filled it, and now I'm onto this bigger tub. Got a couple of kilos of that, and so this is all the plugs and transformers and everything that comes off the mid-grade PVC and the low-grade as well. The low-grade's got all these stupid transformer things. Smash all them open and get the copper out. They're all the tube TVs that I've pulled apart for copper recovery. Brass. I've got a little tin of that happening. And once I strip down all those plugs and everything, this will start to fill up. And so we're going to save our Maribel copper and our brass for another trip. So yeah, that's street scrapping part 2. This time we went from Annerley. The hard rubbish was Annerley and South Brisbane and down to Yeronga. We only got through Dutton Park and Annerley, and we were full up. Actually pulled up at a guy's house and he's like, "Oh, do you want these TVs and all that?" He'd been going around collecting stuff for scrap last year and never got time to process it. And so he filled me up there, and I got a lot, 4 big tube TVs that I pulled apart. I'd actually scrapped one on the street where I took all the copper out of it and left the carcass behind in the rubbish pile as well. So that might be in another video. I'll go through processing individual things that I've gotten or whatever. But out of this scrap, previous scrap, we got the printer and the Nintendo Wii. Out of this scrap, I got a 50-inch LG flat screen plasma TV, the same one that I've already got a 42-inch of. And I got a new computer monitor, a 22-inch widescreen Samsung LED LCD computer monitor. And yeah, that upgrade's the one that I upgraded to last scrapping trip. So yeah, this week was Maruka, but it flooded out there, and so we didn't go down and do anything. Plus we had a whole bunch of mowing to do, so I did that instead. And that every day that I've been at home because it's raining or work's called off, I've been into stripping the plugs off the PVC cables and all that. And so I've got a little pile of brass and a little pile of copper here, and I'm going to keep building on that. And yeah, to keep going back to this scrap guy, because the last one, yeah, we said that the first go would just be a test to see, what things we should get. Well, our first test was a dud test, so we'll call today the first test, because I only took about half of what I've got of everything. And yeah, last time 375 kilos total weight. I got paid $7.50. This time around, I took down a little over 200 kilos, or pretty much bang on 200 kilos. Pretty ridiculous. But yeah, you guys have a good night. I'll catch you in the next one.